So you made it through all three parts of my Atonement, well, synopsis really. I didn't really review it, I noticed. I just sort of breezed past the generalization of the novel, which was more like a really long back cover or inside flap. So here is my finalized review. All three parts are still part of this. This is just sort of note at the end on really what I did think of this. It is true that the first part is a little slow moving. I was not wrong on Wednesday. However, before I do start this review note, I want to give my deepest, most profound apology I've probably ever. I think I really am going to start deleting the Wednesday reviews indefinitely because I realized how wrong I was about the whole novel. I realized that you really can't honestly judge a book before you're finished with it, because I uploaded the video on YouTube on Wednesday, and no sooner had I said what I said that the very next chapter it started to pick up, and I hated myself for what I said. So Wednesdays is going to probably be deleted from my structure week. If there is a book that I cannot wait to show you guys and I want to share with you what I've read or an excerpt from it or whatever, there's going to be the odd Wednesday video, but in no way is it going to be a structured thing where every Wednesday I'm going to post something. In fact, it could just be a sort of daily vlog thing that I do on a different channel. So Wednesdays are probably going to be a different channel if I ever think of making a different channel, because this book's Wednesday review was just such a terrible experiment that I am sorry for whoever watched that review and took something out of it and decided, well, if she doesn't like it by now, then she probably won't like it from the ending and I'll never read it again. No, I was wrong, and I'm honestly beating myself up about it because I know a lot of people watched that review probably, and a lot of people did say to themselves that they weren't going to read it because I didn't like it or whatever. That being said, this review is going to be nothing but praises about this book. However, it is slow. I mean, Wednesday was right in that sense. Part 1 is slow. And I don't know if I got through part 1 sort of waiting for something to happen, then probably you guys will as well. But something that I did see in part 1 that was different from all the other parts was part 1 was bigger. It was the biggest out of the 3 parts of the novel. Part 1 was the biggest one, and I realized that was because Ian McEwan had to set the setting for this. It's like a play, you know? He had to introduce the characters, introduce the basic plot line, basically, for what was to happen next. And he couldn't have done that without the slow-moving first part. And that's when you really get to know the characters, get to know the sequences that happen leading up to part 2 and part 3. And although slow, Ian McEwan he really writes beautifully. I mean, his prose is lyrical. His prose is poetic. If that makes sense. It's very lyrical. It's very defined. It's very set in stone, and yet it's very flowy. It's not a sort of coarse way of writing. It's a very finely tuned way of writing. It's a newly oiled car. It's a newly waxed surface. It's very smooth. And even though it is dense in the sense that the descriptions of places and events are dense, he does it with such eloquence and such elegance that he is eloquent in the way he writes, and the richness and vastly detailed glory of this book was something that I've only experienced in a certain amount of books, and this really does. It is Atonement by Ian McEwan really does deserve all of the awards that it has, all of the prizes that it has gotten, because it really can be said that in a couple of years, probably even this year, probably even before I've done this review, it has become a classic. It has become very, very, very dear to my heart. And even though I spent the majority of this novel in tears with my face blotchy and in no hope for a Kleenex because I have no Kleenex boxes, it's that kind of book that grabs you and it won't let you go, and you feel sympathy and you feel hatred and you feel pity, and it's this war on your emotions, but it's a good kind of war. You know, it's like your emotions are trying to fight inside of you for which one will win, and in the end you don't feel satisfied. You want the novel to keep on going. You want the story to keep on going. You don't feel satisfied with the ending, thinking, how can this be it? This cannot be the ending. Where is the rest of the novel? Why didn't he finish it? Because it is that magical. It is truly, truly, truly a magical book. And in terms of an adult fiction, it is glorious. It's very sensual. It's very defined as a, it's brilliant. It's true. All of these critiques on this book, it doesn't even begin to grace the feet of this book, all these critiques. It deserves all of that and much more, because it is a brilliant read. It's like the light at the end of a tunnel. It's there, and you want to reach it, but you don't want to. I don't know. Like it's a very luminous. It's a very brilliantly defined, sensual, exciting, gripping read. And like I said in the third part of my elongated synopsis, I will, if there were 10 stars to give, I would give it 11, because it is that brilliant of a book, and you will not regret picking this up. You will not regret reading it. You will only have good things to say about it, I'm sure. And you need to go to your local library. You need to go to your bookstore, pick it up today, buy it today, and read it today, because its words and its prose and its eloquence will envelope you in this wellspring and this insane amount of love for the book and for the author as well, because I'm certain that this won't be the last novel that I pick up by this man. His name has found a special place in my heart, and this man has found a way to rummage for a free space among all the books that have found a way into my heart for its own very, very lofty space. So I don't think for a long time I will find a book that quite equals this, at least in this year. For this year, for certain, this is my favorite book, and it'll always have a special place in my heart, and I will always be recommending it to people for as long as I live. So thank you for watching the 3 parts plus this little note. I'm sorry for Wednesday, and as a result, I'm going to have to delete Wednesday reviews and probably make it part of some other vlog channel of mine that I end up making sometime in the future. But I hope that you have found as much satisfaction with these reviews as I have found satisfaction with the book. Please, please, please find a way to pick up this book. Find a way to buy it or borrow it from a friend, from a library. Just find the book and read the book. And I have found an idea that I want to be it's an idea of mine, but I'm going to explain that in my Monday video, because I have to sort of finalize the details on it. So thank you guys. Mwah. Love you. And of course, rate, subscribe, view, like, and support. Bye.